My name's Greg Parry, and I'd like to share a story about a very unique and special school project that we launched in Palestine. It was several years ago, and of course, it was this crazy idea. I received a phone call one day from a student who I had worked with when I was a principal in Dubai. And he said, "Hey, my dad wants to launch a new international school in Palestine, and he'd like you to make a bid and tender on the project to set up and launch that school." I was fascinated and curious. And of course, I already knew a lot about Palestine because of the decades of conflict. And I was really interested in the project. So we made a successful bid and we were appointed to do the project. And of course, then we headed on over to Palestine. People often ask me, how do you start a brand new project, particularly in a unique place like Palestine? And it's funny, it very much is a pioneering entrepreneurial project. Like you're starting from nothing. I remember jumping on LinkedIn and trying to find anyone at all that I could find that lived or worked in Palestine. And I contacted the CEOs and of Coca-Cola and a lot of the businesses in Ramallah and tell them that we were planning to set up a school and how I'd like to meet them and get their advice and ideas about how we might do that. And of course, I flew into Tel Aviv and then traveled across the land border into Palestine and started our work there. And over the first couple of weeks, I just spent time going out and meeting people, meeting industry, meeting company CEOs. I was this crazy Australian who just landed in Ramallah and had this plan to set up a school funded by an investor from Dubai and was out there meeting people, trying to figure out how best to approach that. And then, of course, very, very quickly, I was invited into homes. I had lovely meals with families. I got to know the true culture of Palestine and what people were facing there. And I think what's really crazy is people tend to understand Palestine from the perspective of the media and what they hear about the major conflict between Israel and the Palestinians without really understanding the true people that live there. I broke bread and spent lots of time with families there who were Jewish, Christian, Muslim, and we had a wonderful time together. And none of them want the conflict. All of them just want all what they want is a better life. And I loved spending several months there trying to understand them and how best shape up an international school that was going to meet their needs. Was it challenging? Absolutely. I remember one day looking out the window and observing for 20 minutes or more a young child learning how to throw stones. And I'm not sure if you've seen the things on television about or videos about Palestinians who are throwing rocks at the Israelis. And I watched it in awe, just realizing that these young children don't know anything else, and that's all they've been doing for decades. And I realized how important it was to have an international school that was going to create informed citizens. And informed citizens are critical thinkers who make good decisions. We don't tell people what to think, but we help teach children how to think. And it was a very exciting project and something a place that I learned a lot about people and humanity and something I'll treasure forever.